Sorry. Good morning. My name is Andrea Frickleton, and I have my little helpers here, Vita and Petra Frickleton. Yep. Okay. We all use she, her pronouns. Oh, my girls. I serve as one of your Board of Trustees members, and I'm happy to welcome all of you on Zoom and in the sanctuary to the Tahoma Unitarian Universalist congregation. A brief personal note, that's what it says here that I'm supposed to say. We had a wonderful little cozy Easter. I hope all of you did as well. The Easter bunny came. It was lovely. It was a nice little happy pause in an otherwise kind of insecure world. So Unitarian Universalists are a community of people who hold many beliefs, many origins, identities, sexualities, and genders. We uphold and celebrate the inherent dignity of every person, which means you are welcome here just the way you are. Love is the power that holds us together as we gather in community to seek life's deeper meanings and to celebrate the diversity of all living things. We are all growing with and learning from one another. If you are here for the first time, we bid you a special welcome. After the service, I will be in the sanctuary. It says I'm supposed to point somewhere, but I'm just, chasing my girls around. But I will be here. And I would be happy to answer any questions you may have about Unitarian Universalism or our congregation. Or if you have questions about how to become involved in our community, just ask me. I also encourage you to explore our website, tahomauu.com. At the website, you can sign up for our weekly e-news that includes information about the important and fun events going on in congregational life and how you can participate. There's a lot there. There's so much happening here at Tahoma UU, and here are some special announcements. So we have a few here. So we are still doing our pledge drive, and we really want to thank everyone who has already pledged. If you haven't, even a small amount does make a huge difference because it helps us budget for the year. And if you do have a reoccurring donation going on, please check that and still submit a form. We'd like to have the form. I think we need it. I don't know. Sean, the admin, knows. We just need the form. You can fill it out. The paper version is here, or you can go on the website. The link is now working. I'm told it was not working last Sunday, but it's working now. And you can just fill out the form on there. Again, even if you already have a reoccurring donation set up, please fill that out. And then, let's see. Next Saturday, April the 18th, from 10 a.m. to noon, we're doing a spring cleanup here. So, just over the winter, things get a little dirty and dusty. So if you want to show up next Saturday, 10 to noon, and just, grab a broom, that would be lovely. Then let's see. Oh, we have some people to call up. I'm going to call up Margo first. She's going to say a couple things.
So about the spring clean, if any of you, it's good to bring tools and gloves, and you can work outside, you can work inside. And if you have dusters, that would be great because we're going to be removing dust. My announcement is I need people to sign up. 2 weeks from this Sunday, I want to do a poetry service, which means I need about 10 people who will read a poem that they enjoy. And I'd like to keep these poems rather celebratory. I feel like we're living in very heavy times. And I would like it if our poetry service could be kind of healing and upbeat and solidarity bound, which doesn't mean we can't talk about sad things, but to keep balance. So if you want to read a poem, see me after the service and I will sign you up because I'm going to need about 10 people. Otherwise, you're going to hear way too much from me. Okay.
Thank you, Margo. Now, Laura would like to come up and talk about the Pathways to Membership class.
Hi, I'm Laura Gardner, and I'm the membership team, and we're having our next Pathways class on Saturday morning, May 2nd. It's a great opportunity for you to learn about UU history. Reverend Margo will be there talking about that, and you'll also learn more about our congregation and how you can participate. We have these orange cards at the activities table and in the lobby with information about how you can sign up. And if you have any questions after the service about it, come see me, and I hope to see you on May 2nd. Thank you.
We have one last announcement. I think that's the last one. Would you like to come up and talk about our movie night and potluck?
Hi, my name is Janie Cox. I use she, her pronouns. Fran McLaughlin, Maria Figueroa, and I are the host of the Third Friday Potluck, one of our most long-standing traditions here at TUUC. And I see we've made the back of the program with the Third Friday Potluck being listed. The beauty of that is that you can mark your calendar for the whole year with Third Fridays to make sure you don't, get a conflict coming up. Friday, the 17th, which is this coming Friday, Patty McPhee will be talking to us about identity theft. The talk will start at about 12:30. The meals, well, you appear for the meal at about 11:30 at the back door, go downstairs, and everyone is welcome. There is a accessibility ramp to the downstairs in case some of you don't know about that, but we'd love to have everybody join us. And we are going to continue through the summer. We're going to have June, July, and August, Third Friday potlucks, and we're going to have discussion or something more informal at those potlucks, but we will be continuing the year round.
Okay, I'm told there's one more announcement. Remy.
Hello, everybody. So we're having our second crafting night on Wednesday, the 15th. So this upcoming Wednesday at 7 to 8:30 p.m. We're going to be doing probably fiber arts like knitting or crocheting. So if you're interested in that, come on by.
So would you say that was Wednesday, this Wednesday? Every other. Oh, okay, it's on the back door. Okay, lovely. There it is. Okay, I think that's all the announcements. A lot of stuff going on. Again, check out the e-news if you feel like you missed something. Back to it. You are also invited to join us for social hour immediately following the service, right over there by the windows. For those of you who are newer to our community, we have red coffee mugs for you to use if you would like to identify yourself and be approached by people who would enjoy getting to know you. So just grab the red coffee mug if you're new and you want to chat. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I guess there are just a lot of announcers today. So many announcers. I am so sorry, Debbie. I was supposed to call you up. Come on up, Debbie. I got lost in the announcers.
Good morning. My name is Debbie Ramsey. I use she, her pronouns, and I am one of your Board of Trustees members, so I get to serve the congregation that way. I am here to talk about why I pledge. When I was first thinking about what I was going to say, I had a thing about my mom, Blue Boat Home, a painting that Pam Jenkins did, and that story is why I attend a UU church, but it's not why I pledge. I pledge because I love this congregation. In the year and a half, 2.5 years, I can't remember, since we've been coming to this congregation, I've seen some changes, and these are the things that make me love this congregation and why I pledge. We have hired DRE, the Director of Religious Exploration, which is something new. We gather food every Sunday for the food bank. So we're doing social justice and outreach, and I love that about us. When I started coming here, when we sang the kids out, we just sang the song one time, and now we just sing it twice, and that was just an organic thing. I think it's because we have more children, but I love that about us, that we just do and carry on. In that same vein, when mistakes happen up here, during the service, we just go with the flow. Nobody seems to get upset, and I love that about us, that we just adapt and go with it. One of the last things you probably can't see, I wrote my notes when I was driving on a mountain pass the other day, and they're mostly illegible. One of the other things that I love about us that I've watched change in the time that I've been here is when we sing our closing blessing song and the number of people that are up here dancing and singing, and how that is, again, just organic. The board didn't dictate it. We didn't vote on it. Nobody said, we have to do this now. And these are just a few of the things that I love about our congregation and how we are growing and adapting and changing, and our social justice. And I just love this congregation. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. That was lovely. And I completely agree. If you are someone who would benefit from a large print hymnal or a hearing assistance device, they are available at the back of the sanctuary. We want to remind everyone that our services are available through Zoom and posted to YouTube, which means if you come up front, your image may appear on those venues. Like these two right here. They do what they want. As we begin our service in this beautiful place called Tahoma by local indigenous tribes and nations, I acknowledge that we meet today on the land of the Coast Salish people, including the Puyallup tribal nation, land from which they were forcibly displaced. I honor the resiliency of indigenous people and stand with them as they continue to protect their culture, land, and water, and fight for their visibility, sovereignty, and very existence. Lastly, please set your electronic devices to worship mode. Let us exhale deeply and settle ourselves into this holy moment of sharing and receiving. Now let us join together in worship.
I'm David Ray. I use he, him pronouns, and it is now time for the chalice lighting. I would call on Pam Jenkins to light the chalice. She is
A little out of order this morning because
okay.
we've had so many announcements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're a little out of order here.
So just bear with us
Well, bear with us.
for the prelude. Thank you, Marianne. In case I forgot to say this earlier, I'm the Reverend Margo Rinehart. I am the minister here. We got all so tangled up in announcements because there's so much going on. Our opening words are from Sarah Lawal, who serves a congregation in Boise, Idaho, which is no easy task. To ask what is possible. Spirit of life and love, may we hear the voice within calling us to ask what is possible, to walk to the edge, to shed the fear and need for comfort and control. Fear and need for control, and dance with the infinite for a while. May we set down the list of wrongs and hurts and see obstacles as invitations for innovation, beckoning our creativity. May we hear each other's voices of love and encouragement. May we hear the voices of the world asking us, who do we choose to be? And now we have David and Jonathan.
Okay, good morning. I'm David Ray. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm calling upon Pam Jenkins now to light the chalice. She is involved in safe parking, coffee, and kids here. Now, join me in the chalice lighting words. We light this chalice in deep respect for the mystery and holiness of life, in honor and gratitude for those who have gone before, with love and compassion for those who dwell among us, and with hope and faith for the generations to come. Now I'll call for our opening hymn, number 95, There is More Love Somewhere.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more life somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere.
I think we know what time it is, kids. Come on up and raise your hands if you have food. Yes, hearing is important. All right. All right, let's gather the food. There's some more cans over there. Can you help collect? Oh, good morning. Helpers, helpers. Oh, we have some more food. Can you girls go help collect the food, please? We need more helping hands. You want to help? Go help. You think we got it all? Oh, you brought Bob? Good, good, good.
Go down.
There we go. Now, can we hear me? We're good? Oh. Oh, we'll introduce Bob. Thank you for the help. Now we're good, huh? Now I'm going to ask that you come a little closer so we can actually read together. How's that sound? All right. Today's story is, who wants to read the title with me? Oh, it is? I thought that kid, he's upside. No, he's right side. You're right. What is it? Together. Together we can. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Together we can. All right, let's jump in, right?
And now is the time when we invite you to be generous in helping support the work we do here at Tahoma UU. If you care to donate online, you can go to tahomauu.com and there's a button. I think there are two buttons actually, one at the very top that says give and another that says giving. And either way, they'll take you to how to donate online. And of course, you can always donate live in the sanctuary if you're there. Thanks very much. We appreciate anything you can give. Take care.
Okay. Now the dedication. We dedicate ourselves and our offerings to the work of this congregation, weaving a tapestry of love we call community, both within and beyond these walls. And now for our meditation hymn, number 391.
Voice still and small, deep inside her, I hear your call, singing. In storm and rain, sorrow and pain, still we remain singing. Calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, singing.
The reading is actually woven throughout the sermon, but I'm going to start right now with the beginning. By Cameron Tribble. Stability is not about standing still. It's about remaining faithful when everything else is in motion. And that's from the Rule of Saint Benedict. The world does not feel steady right now. Institutions we are taught to trust are unraveling. Power is being abused without accountability. Fear is being used as a governing strategy. And many of us wake each day bracing ourselves for what new harm is going to be revealed. But we need to be honest about this. Naming the danger is not despair, it's sanity. History tells us that moments like this are not new. Empires have fallen before. People have lived through seasons when cruelty was normalized and minorities were treated as a threat. In those moments, not everyone fled or fought in warfare. Some were able to choose something more enduring. They stayed. So we are now on week 3 of the annual pledge drive. And most people think ministers don't like to talk about money. I love to talk about money because this enables us to do things out here. So in honor of this vital event of the pledge drive and creating a budget for the next fiscal year, I wanted to deliver this joyful, inspiring message that somehow would result in tremendous financial generosity, even like beyond our means, which is terrible advice. Don't spend beyond your means, right? It's a tough one for our brains to think about financial generosity during times of uncertainty. So how am I going to talk about it this morning? Well, I'm going to talk to you about Benedictine monasteries of the Middle Ages. Yes, you can laugh. Why? Because it's sort of connected. It's about mission, and the mission of those monasteries holds universal truths. Caring for the poor, giving shelter to the traveler, stewardship of the land, the importance of thinking deeply, and the consideration of generations to come. And when I read this piece about these Benedictine monasteries, it was like, this is what we are talking about today, still, is that Benedictine wisdom. And it's the same things we are doing here at Tacoma Unitarian Universalist Congregation. It's a smaller scale, but it doesn't make it any less important. And why is it relevant on Pledge Drive morning? Well, because on top of needing the hearts and the hands of volunteers, all of these things require staff, funds for volunteer projects, a roof over our heads, sometimes training, education, outreach, coffee, and more coffee. So those things cost money. So when we gather here, what we do is a little bit like those parts of monastic life, but we have different labels for them probably. We gather here on Sunday mornings. We have activities throughout the week or throughout the month. It's always my hope that you could take a little piece of something that you've experienced here back with you to your home, your work, to school, or just whatever's going on in your life from moment to moment. Always asking the question, how can I support and serve the people I work with? Before we talk a little more about that, I want to read a little more from Cameron Trimble, who writes about the Benedictine monasteries. In the 6th century, she says, as the Roman Empire disintegrated, Saint Benedict of Nursia did not try to save the empire. He also did not abandon the world. Instead, he gathered people into a way of life that was rooted in stability, shared labor, prayer, and care for the vulnerable. The monasteries that followed over the centuries did not prevent collapse, but they preserved humanity within them. Which also meant all the people in the communities around the monasteries. They became places where learning survived, where the poor were fed, where dignity was practiced, and when power had lost its moral compass. They didn't do this by being loud or dominant. They did it by staying. Benedict called this stability, committing to a place, a people, and a way of living that resists chaos without mirroring it. And stability is not passivity. It is disciplined faithfulness. It is a refusal to let fear decide who we will become. So we are living in a time where many are tempted to withdraw or believe that nothing they do will matter. I have many days like this where I just want to put the pillow and the covers back over my head. Some are forced to withdraw because it's not safe for them to be visible. And Benedictine wisdom says, for those who can stay, that we live in the midst of breakdown, but we witness for what is possible in the thereafter. This doesn't mean we ignore injustice or accept harm. Benedictine communities were not neutral, but they were ordered around values that quietly and firmly contradicted domination. They chose humility over power. They chose to share resources over hoarding. And they chose hospitality over exclusion and care over control. So that fits in with that list of caring for the poor, giving shelter to the traveler, stewardship of the land, the importance of thinking deeply, and the consideration of generations to come. So in our little piece, we do caring for the poor through the safe parking program, through the weekly food drive, through the minister's discretionary funds, which I have control over, and the community care team budget. We do that also with our presence, through welcome, through mirroring someone's inherent worth and dignity as they come in the door and as they have coffee. Sean Chitty, who's our administrator and is here this morning and does not know I'm going to talk about him. Oops. Sean and I field phone calls and emails throughout the month from people reaching out in need. They're people from the outer community, and we try to connect them with resources if we can. And we are kind and we are caring in our communication, even if we don't have what they need. And of course, we invite them to come be with us on Zoom or in the sanctuary or for things going on throughout the month. You also hear, give shelter to the traveler. And that's what Cameron Trimble is saying about hospitality over exclusion. And again, we do that through safe parking, which serves people who are unhoused and living out of their vehicles. We have 5 parked there. It's why we have a porta potty over here and a water station. And we provide access to a battery charger because if you are living out of your car, your battery is often overtaxed. Our Trans Relocation Fund has helped people settle here after fleeing from other states. Our membership committee, who also don't know I was going to talk about them this morning, greets new people who want to know more about making this their spiritual home. Throughout the month, Sean and I once again field phone calls and emails from people who are reaching out about attending services. And some of their questions are, will I fit in? Will I be judged? What if I arrive sad or anxious or battered? Will that part of me be accepted? And again, we respond with kindness and caring and reassurance. We do this on your behalf because that is the congregation you are, and it is what you are building here. So we are acting in your stead, even though we are the ones that get those initial emails or phone calls. And over the past few months, several of us have been putting our heads together to create more offerings for social connection. Walks together, coffee, attending a chalice group. A chalice circle is a small group that has deep discussions on a monthly topic. We also obviously have a coffee ministry, and we have the third Friday potlucks that Janie talked about earlier. And many of those things, even including family nights, are offered to families of all sizes. So also in this Benedictine model is the importance of thinking deeply. So the whole worship team here, the choir and and our speakers try to provide uplifting Sunday services. We use interfaith and humanist approach to address the times we are in a way that we hope acknowledges the reality, but also provides hope and provides permission for you to say, wow, I just feel really overwhelmed right now. I hope we can do more of that in more chalice circles next year, because right now it's only Mary Berry and I facilitating, and I would love to, you're going to hear me try to recruit facilitators so we can open more of those so that people can have those really deep discussions. Sean Pruitt, the director of our Children's Religious Exploration Program, who is not up here this morning because he is downstairs with the 4th and 5th grade OWL class, which is Our Whole Lives Sexuality curriculum. He's down with the teachers, and I was just counting up earlier. Downstairs, it takes 5 volunteers and a staff person every Sunday morning just to run our regular classes. And then we have 2 more volunteers right now with the Our Whole Lives 4th and 5th grade class. So that's a lot of volunteering that goes on to run that program. And our paid staff person in Sean, who runs our Children's Religious Exploration. And he works really hard at providing a space for families from all walks of life. He coordinates the nursery, the elementary, the middle school. He also runs a monthly, well, he and Lauren, although I think it's more Sean than Lauren now. I don't see Lauren anymore. I saw her pop in earlier. We're coordinating family nights once a month, and these are for families of all sizes and ages. You can be a family of 1 and you can be 70 years old and still come to family night. We recently had family art night. It was messy and it was creative and it was really fun. And we were able, even though we were downstairs making our artistic creations, we were listening to the teen musicians who were practicing upstairs for the youth-led service, which I heard was rather loud. Yeah. And as I mentioned, several of us attended who no longer have children at home, but we were just families anyway, joining in the fun. A few weeks ago, here's the other thing you provide that you don't even know you provide. The community comes to us when they need something. Indivisible Tacoma came to us and said, we need to be in your space again, like we were a few years back. So we made that happen. And a few weeks ago, I was approached by two people who were looking for meeting space because they were attempting to bring together all the resistance choirs in Pierce County. Because there's a little resistance choir here, and there's another resistance choir here, and there's another one. So they were trying to have them all together, but they needed a space. So they sing songs of resistance from every decade. They sing because it feels good to get together and do that. It's a message of hope. It's a practice of community. People can feel uplifted to go forward back into their week. And they are also called upon to perform at vigils and places of public witness. So when I received that request, I said, oh, yes, we want you to come, even before I asked the board. Oops, because I knew it was a mission you would want to support. And as an aside here, I want you to sing with that group. They meet here twice a month. They just had a practice here yesterday, and the next practice, I would imagine, it's usually every 2 weeks on a Saturday. You can find that on our website on the calendar about when their next practice is. You can just come and sing songs of resistance, feel good, meet new people. Oh, by the way, I invited them all to family art night. There's nothing required of you. You don't have to perform. You can just come and sing and feel good. You all have a special invitation because they are feeling a lot of gratitude toward you for making this possible for them. So I could go on and on here about little things that are going on that you may not even know about, that volunteers are working to support and your staff is too. So it's pledge drive time, and I think that you've probably heard other little stories here and there about what's going on. And every month I attend two different meetings from the Unitarian Universalist Association, which is our national. So either with the UUA staff or with the region, which means I hear stories from around the country and I hear stories from the states of the Pacific Western region. So let me tell you, you do a lot for a congregation of your size, a lot. So please be wildly proud of what you do here to uphold one another and your wider community. So we pledge not only to fund the next fiscal year, but we pay a pledge to preserve this place for the generations to come, just like the generations before us did. Like the Benedictine monasteries provided for their communities century after century. Theologian and I think mystic Reinhold Niebuhr reminds us, nothing worth doing can be achieved in our lifetime. Therefore, we must be saved by hope. Nothing which is true or beautiful or good makes complete sense in the immediate context of history. Therefore, we must be saved by faith. Nothing we do, however virtuous, can be accomplished alone, and therefore we are saved by love. End of quote. We pledge financially because that is love in action. We volunteer because that is love in action. I am aware that our last stewardship speakers, Evelyn is down in class. Do you want to go down and get her? Yeah, go snag her. So Evelyn is going to be, Lega and Megan are going to be our last stewardship speakers. So Evelyn's in class, she's coming up. So I'll finish. In times like these, courage does not always look like confrontation. Sometimes it just looks like preserving what makes life worth saving. If the world feels like it's burning, the invitation is not to match fire with more fire. The invitation is to be a place of shelter and memory and moral clarity, to keep the human story alive until it can be told again, truthfully. We're not weak when we feel afraid, and we are not naive when we choose tenderness. And we are not irrelevant because we can't fix everything. Our work, if we can do so safely, is just to stay. So let us join in our closing hymn. Which I think is our closing hymn is 1028, Fire of Commitment.
From the light of days remembered, o'er the beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dream of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
So we'll start with Megan. Oh, yeah.
So Evelyn's having too much fun in OWL and decided she didn't want to come up and talk. But when we talked about it over the week, but leading up to this, she said one of the things she likes about this congregation is how it is respectful of all religions. So my name is Megan Brassey and I use she, her pronouns. I still think of myself as new. So imagine my surprise when I scrolled back through my calendar when Reverend Margo asked me to speak and saw that I've been coming pretty regularly since April of 2022. A friend had invited me who was not religious but wanted to check it out and didn't want to do it by herself. And having grown up in an American Baptist church in Massachusetts, I hadn't even heard of Unitarian Universalism before the friend invited me. The first thing I noticed when I attended was that children were welcomed and not just tolerated, as we've seen throughout service today. And since 2022 was still partially COVID times, they had set aside a portion of the sanctuary for children to play quietly during the service without any concern that they might disrupt the service with noise. Once we were able to reopen the religious exploration classes, I was even more excited to see what my children could learn rather than just the Bible stories that I had grown up with in Sunday school. As I have learned more about Unitarian Universalism, I have come to realize that this is the style of Christianity I've always believed, and I just didn't know it had a name. I am so grateful to find a community where I can feel like I belong, even if we don't all believe the same things, and that I want to share with my children to help them grow and learn in our loving community. Thank you.
So we are just going to move on to extinguishing the chalice since we're running a little over.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now our closing blessing song.